Hi, in this video we're going to look at how to play World of Warcraft using voice control and mouse. We will also include a brief demonstration on how to play using this method, as well as some additional options you may wish to add. In order to play World of Warcraft using voice control, we will need a voice control software. In this case, we will be using GAVPI. GAVPI is a free-to-download voice control software that allows mouse and keyboard functions to be controlled by your voice. These functions can be adjusted later to suit your preferences. You can download and set up GAVPI manually. However, for beginners, we recommend downloading the World of Warcraft voice pack from the SpecialEffect blog. You will need either 7-zip or WinRAR to extract the files from the folder. This can be downloaded for free online. However, for this video, we'll be using 7-zip. Once downloaded, right-click the file called World of Warcraft Voice Control Pack, click 7-zip or WinRAR, and extract files. Extracting the files to the desktop would be ideal for ease of access. You can now delete the zipped file to avoid confusion later. Now we need to open the new World of Warcraft Voice Control Pack and select World of Warcraft Voice Control. Inside you'll see 3 files. The one you want to select is GAVPI, and finally gavpi.exe. If this message pops up, press yes. You should see a white box labelled GAVPI appear. Now we need to click Settings and just press Save. In the top left of GAVPI, press File, Open Profile. This should take you to this screen where you see wow.xml. Select that file and press Open. If this has worked correctly, you should see Not Listening WoW. This indicates that GAVPI is currently running the WoW profile, however it is not currently listening for any voice commands. To double check that this has worked, or to adjust any commands in future, select Profile and Modify. Do not select New, as this will delete the current profile. If you accidentally press New, you can reload the WoW presets by following the previous steps. From this screen, it is possible to modify current functions or create brand new ones of your own. However, we will come back to this later in the video. GAVPI is broken down into 3 parts. The triggers, the voice command given to activate a button, such as walk, jump, left and right. Action sequences, this is what actually happens. For example, holding down the W key for 3 seconds or pressing the spacebar. And finally, trigger events. This is what tells GAVPI which word triggers what action. By default, this GAVPI profile will have these functions programmed into it. These instructions are included in the World of Warcraft Voice Control folder, labelled World of Warcraft Voice Control Guide. At this point, you may wish to test if GAVPI is working. If you have modified the default profile, remember to save it as something different. Otherwise, simply close the Modify window. In order to test that GAVPI is working, press Listen and say some practice commands. Forwards, left, right, stop, jump, jump, jump. If you wish to change any of the trigger words in GAVPI, you can do so using the same modification method as before. Profile, Modify, and then under Triggers, find the word you wish to change, select, right-click, and edit. In the speech recognition word or phrase, this is where you would type in the new word that you wish to say. select OK, and to save, press File, Save As. In order to play World of Warcraft, you will need a Battle.net account. The game can be played for free up to level 20. Don't forget to check your email to verify your new account. After you've created your account, you can download the game for free at worldofwarcraft.com. Once you've downloaded the game, log in and create your character. It is important to make a note of which realm or server your character is being made on, in this case Blade's Edge. Go to Create New Character and have fun making your character. Once you're happy with your character, it's time to enter the world. Once in the world, set GAVPI to listen and you'll be able to run around and enjoy a few of the basic commands. Forwards, jump, left, right, stop. At this point, you'll be able to play the game with voice controls. However, as you level up in the game and gain new spells and abilities, you may wish to have more action bars at the bottom in order to use them. We will show you how to set this up with voice control now. We first need to close the game. Press Escape, Exit Game, Exit Now. Once you have closed the game, find the shortcut, right-click, press Open File Location. This will take you to where the majority of your World of Warcraft folders have been saved. Click the folder called Retail, WTF, Account, and then the account number. This is where the server that we remembered before becomes important. So we click Blade's Edge and our character. In here, we need to delete all the files apart from saved variables. Once you've deleted all the files in the folder, open up the World of Warcraft Voice Control Pack and go to Copy WTF. In here you'll find a bindings cache file. Simply drag and drop into the other folder. You can now close both folders. This will swap the keybinds of the character from the original 10 to up to 30. This will also match the keybinds to the GAVPI voice command. Upon loading back into the game, you will see that nothing appears to have changed. However, if we go into the settings, we'll see that it has. If you press Escape and scroll down to Interface, scroll down to Action Bars and tick each of these boxes: bottom left bar, bottom right bar, and right bar 2. Then press OK. You'll now see that you have an extra bar at the bottom here. However, if you go to the bottom right of the screen to where the spellbook is, or if you have GAVPI listening and say the command word spellbook, it will bring up where your spells and abilities are. You will now be able to see that you actually have significantly more buttons for you to place your spells on, ranging from 1 to 12, Shift 1 to 12, Control 1 to 12, and Alt 1 to 12. This will give you 30 binds in total, which is more than enough to play the game on any class. If you find the Alt keybinds are not working, toggle numlock on your keyboard. Now we will go over some optional recommended settings for World of Warcraft. To open your settings, press Escape, Interface. From here we can change many of the aspects of the game. The first setting that I recommend changing is to toggle on sticky targeting. This sets the game so that you cannot accidentally click off of your target. Next, I recommend turning on Auto Loot. This will automatically pick up any of the items that you need while questing through the world. Next, go to Names. Then toggle Always Show Nameplates. This will bring up health bars above all of the allies and enemies in the world. And then select Larger Nameplates. This will increase the size of the nameplates, making them far easier to see and target. Next, if you go to Camera, Camera Following Style, and select Always Adjust Camera. This sets the camera so that it always automatically follows your character. Select Mouse. Then select Click to Move. With the command word Attack, you will be able to move your character to the location where you've placed your cursor. This can allow for significantly easier movement in small or tight spaces. Finally, if you're playing in windowed mode, I would recommend choosing Lock Cursor to Window. This will stop your game cursor from leaving the screen. In order to play in windowed mode, press Escape, go to System, and then under the Graphics tab, in Display mode, select the option Windowed or Full Screen Windowed. Forwards, left, 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 click, attack. Map, click, as well as the settings in the game, it is possible to download additional files called add-ons that may prove helpful in the game. You can do this from twitch.com/downloads. I highly recommend using this app to manage your add-ons. If you scroll down to Desktop Apps and select whichever one is appropriate for your operating system. For us, we'll be using Windows. And download. Once you have the Twitch app downloaded, we can install the add-ons. In the top taskbar of the Twitch app, select Mods. Then select World of Warcraft. It will currently show that you have no add-ons installed. In order to get some, we will click Get More Add-ons. From here, it will give you a list of popular and new releases along with recommended add-ons. In order to search by name, go to the far right of the screen and in the search bar, type the name of the add-on that you wish to search. It will come up with a list of all the add-ons matching your criteria. Once you have selected the add-on that you wish to install, simply press Install and it will do the rest of the work for you. The first add-on I would recommend is called Dialogue Key. Using this add-on, you can accept text and quests in the game by pressing spacebar. It will also allow you to interact with text in the game by pressing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is very convenient for people who find clicking on small icons difficult. The next add-on I would recommend is GTFO. What this add-on does is if you are ever standing in something bad in the game or something that is dealing you damage, it will give you an audio alert that you can customize to signal for you to move. Deadly Boss Mods is a comprehensive add-on that has audio features as well as visual cues to alert you when something is happening in the game. Oftentimes this will become very useful when fighting larger bosses who have predetermined scripts on when they will attack you and when they will use special abilities. This add-on will tell you exactly when this is going to happen so that you can prepare for them beforehand. Mix Scrolling Combat Text is an add-on similar to GTFO, but it allows you to customize your own audio cues for any part of the game. For example, you can have an audio cue for when your health bar gets too low, for when your mana is too low, or if an enemy or ally is out of range of your spell. Auto Turn-In is a simple add-on that will automatically accept the quest rewards for you, unless you need to pick or select a certain item. This can be helpful if pressing the small accept button is proving difficult. Forwards. Attack. Stop. Right. Select. Click. Click. Attack. Click. Forwards. Attack. Forwards. Click. Map. Spellbook. Click. Left. Stop. Forwards. Forwards. Bags. Map. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please contact SpecialEffect.